Good evening. It is our pleasure, like every year, it's almost become a yearly ritual of sorts to exercise the privilege of Gokhale Institute of Public Affairs to play host to Dr. Sibichen K. Mathew. He has been very generous with his time, energy, learning, and resources. He holds the institution in high regard, and this time around, he has chosen a subject, melting pot or salad bowl, what would make us happy. And I'm sure all of you in the audience here and all our friends who have joined us online are very interested to know about the subject. Before listening to him on behalf of the Gokhale Institute of Public Affairs and all the lovers of knowledge gathered here, I extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Sibichen. Dr. Sibichen is very well known to this audience, but as a mark of formality, a couple of words about his many splendored personality. Dr. Sibichen K. Mathew is IRS. He belongs to the 1992 batch of the Indian Revenue Services and presently works as the Commissioner of Income Tax. He has served in various circles. Earlier, he has also worked as the advisor for the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, and he was in charge of Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra, and Goa regions for 4 years. He has had a stellar and sterling educational record. He holds a post-graduation degree in management and public policy from IIM Bangalore, so we can count him as one of our own. And he has an MPhil in sociology, MA in sociology, with first rank and gold medal from the university, and also holds an LLB and PhD from the Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore, in the topic of fiscal sociology and public finance. And he's also a certified fraud examiner from ACFE, Texas. And he has undergone rigorous training in international public policy and corporate taxation and advocacy skills from several universities in the United States. And his specialized training areas include cybercrime, money laundering, and capital markets. He is the published author of several best-selling publications, including Making People Pay, The Economic Sociology of Taxation, which has been very well received by the public, and also When the Boss is Wrong. So you can see the slant of his titles here, which has also become a bestseller and has been republished as many as 8 times. And he is also a published author in his mother tongue, Malayalam. He has published a novel and brought out a collection of short stories. Apart from his engagement as a commissioner, he indulges in other academic and social activities as well. He is a visiting associate at IIM Bangalore, and he is the evaluator of dissertations at various institutions and universities, resource person and trainer for corporates, PSUs, and so on. He is also very well sought after for his sociological perspective, and he engages himself in those activities. He also writes a blog and maintains a website which plays host to his ideas and cogitations on many number of topics of public relevance. It is a great privilege to have you with us here, sir. I request you to please begin.
Thank you, Shashikiran, for the generous introduction. I was suspecting, Shashikiran, you will say something about the topic too. Normally, when I come for a lecture here, I give some topic which is of apparently interest to the audience so that I'll get more people. So I'm so happy that a lot of people have come today and you are there online and offline. Be part of this program. So this time I gave a tough topic. So last time what happened, whenever I give a topic for a lecture and come here well prepared, initially it was Ramu, then Shashikiran, they will take out all the thrill of the topic. Because they will now research the topic so well. Whatever points I wanted to say, that points plus what I have not prepared, that also they used to say. This time I thought I should keep it as a suspense and give a very, very tough topic so that Shashikaran will not say anything in the introduction. So the topic is, what is the topic? Melting pot or salad bowl. So what it would be? Shashi, did you do some research on it? Waiting to hear. I'm so happy to be here today.
I haven't got some guess, sir.
Thank you.
Can I make a guess?
Please tell me.
It may be wrong also.
No problem.
Melting pot I view as a shining sun, throwing a lot of light,
Yes,
which is very much required for happiness.
correct.
Solid bowl is a small food,
Yes,
only for somebody for a short time.
yes.
This is my guess.
You are right, but that perspective even I did not even think. It's a wonderful perspective. But when I am seeing him, yesterday I was here to listen to our Professor Sebastian Joseph's lecture. Yesterday I was here. After that lecture was over, my dear friend who gave this perspective right now, he told me, "Sir, you always entertain us. It's only entertainment. Whereas Professor Sebastian has given some points." I went back, I thought, today I should not do any entertainment. At least now I should give some points. This is my 14th lecture.
Sir, starting itself is entertainment.
This is my 14th lecture. Have you started reading history? Yesterday you were saying, and I would like to start learning history,
It was a really different type of
Exactly.
lecture, sir.
Exactly. Now, GIPA, this is the 14th lecture I am doing here. What we have received, the wisdom which you received from DVG, very successfully, very innovatively, our team in GIPA continuing. Almost how many years now? 77 years? 78 years completed. The vision and mission of DVG in letter and spirit, all of us, part of GIPA family, we are continuing. When I was going through the biography or the write-up about the great personality, Gundappa ji, at that point of time, he had written two major biographies of Gokhale and also Dadabhai Naoroji. From a different culture, from a different setting, he was trying to assimilate the ideas of two great personalities, two great thinkers, social reformers for the public. He was open to receive perspectives from different angles. When we talk about melting pot means different cultures, different philosophies, different tastes, attitudes, opinions, belief, everything merged as one, where we cannot distinguish the constituents. Everything has been merged. When it comes to salad bowl, every item retains its identity. At the same time, it gives a very colorful presentation to everyone. Melting pot, perspectives merged, assimilated, acculturated, and salad bowl retaining my identity. At the same time, I am part of every other identities. Can you imagine, can you give an example for this? A nation, an example of a nation which is not a melting pot, but a salad bowl. Huh? Our own country. India is the only country with such diversity. Multiple religions, multiple castes, subcastes, languages, dialects, different regions, everything together as one nation state. We are not looking at melting pot. Generally, we equate Canada with melting pot, United States with a melting pot. All the cultures, everything has been merged to one. Today my topic would be not on melting pot between communities, melting pot between people from different countries, or salad bowl of communities. Today I am taking the same theme with an individualistic perspective from our own self as an introspection about our own mindset. Can my mindset merge with Ramu's mindset without losing my identity, Ramu's identity, but both of us together with a reciprocity, whether we can coexist or not? To explain this point, I thought I will take a metaphor of a fence. Fence. All of us have homes. Or we buy a plot of land, especially in cities like Bangalore. Moment you buy a plot of land, what we have to do first? Fence it. Otherwise, the night itself somebody will take it off. Acquire it. Fencing. So I am not talking about the physical fences. I am talking about the fences which is in our mind. So I would like to focus on 5 simple ideas, 5 simple, represented by 5 fences. The first and foremost thing would be the fence which created in ourselves from childhood. I am not talking about our parents' point of view or our ancestral lineage. No, I am not talking about that, which is beyond our control. We cannot choose our parents. We cannot choose our culture or tradition where we have born. But there are some other institutions which create our mindset. What is that institution in our early childhood which creates a mindset for us? What is that? Society. Okay, society is one particular institution really creates everything, all the formation of knowledge happens there. Schooling. So the first fence I am talking to you is about the fence related to learning. There is a psychologist, Ivan Illich. He's an educational psychologist. He wrote a book called De-Schooling Society. He underplayed the role of schooling in learning. Why that sociologist or psychologist, why he came with that perspective, underplayed the formal schooling system? He wanted to say that learning within a formal institutional environment, it limits our understanding of society. If I undergo my schooling in a particular type of school, with a particular type of students with me, my mindset, my attitude, the way I prepare, and the subject I take, all influences my mindset. So he says, The formal schooling can give you a unilinear perspective, unidimensional perspective. The other day, 2 days ago, I was reading in the newspaper, there was an AI conclave, a generative AI conclave in Cochin. It was inaugurated by the Chief Minister. The reporter was reporting about that. So most of the reporters next day reported on one particular item, news item from that. It is not about the speech of the IBM chief, he was there, and an IBM India head, I think, Asia head, he was there. Then Chief Minister was there, or other ministers were there. They were focusing on one student who left school when he was in 8th standard. And he was 15 years at that point of time. He left this formal schooling. He started learning on his own and created 15 apps which were very, very useful for society. Why I'm giving you this recent example is that it is not that schooling which has really created that open mindset to do something different out of the box, which was not taught by teachers, a person's personal exploration at that age. So the definition of learning for all of us need to change, including me, after the formal institutional system. That learning is something open, which can be done from multiple sources. I am linking this particular concept to the formal educational system. An engineer comes out of the engineering college. What is his role? He has to build infrastructures, IT infrastructure or physical concrete infrastructure, or various other streams of engineering. If you take one example of an engineer who is in charge of a civic center, construction of a civic center or a multi-utility center for the people, the perspective of a person who designs that is governed only by the principles of engineering. If that same person who has done his training in engineering has an open mindset or open perspective about other disciplines, his product which he is creating is going to be totally different. The building he constructs, what purpose the building is, who are the users of the building, what are the different age groups who are using this building, for what purpose, ultimate purpose, the offices established here are being operated. All these perspectives will come when he comes out of the engineering mindset, if he has learning of other sciences, including social sciences and philosophy. I took this example to convey a point to all of us, including me. The unilinear learning is not that opens up our mindset. It is a learning where we always open our mindset to different disciplines. Learning out of the box. A person who has completed medicine, all along the profile will contain only MBBS, MD, or DM, or whatever related to that. A person who has completed an MBA, business management, entire his or her perspective is built on the management principles. A civil servant who is in charge of public policy is prepares the formulate the law, trying to implement the law from the solely from the perspective of governance, from the angle of public policy, without knowing about the attitudes and perceptions of the citizen to whom my policy going to cater, the policy will be a failure. Why I am taking all these examples? I am again taking the example of an administration where we would like to have an administration or whatever role we are playing, where we apply multiple type of knowledge. So the first fence we would like to overcome would be to come out of our traditional discipline, the boundaries of discipline. Of course, all of us have to be specialized in one subject. If I'm an engineer, I have to take my MTech, I have to take my PhD, I have to specialize in that. But to be a 100% delivery person of the knowledge to society, I need to imbibe the important perspectives from all other disciplines. That is why the importance of interdisciplinary thought comes. Interdisciplinary perspectives come. Coming out of the fence of traditional conservative knowledge which I am gaining, I may not be able to deliver what I want. Second fence, the fence to learn from below. Entire institutional learning, entire learning revolves around learning from top, learning from seniors, learning from great people. And many times we understand during the course of which we try to emulate a great person. It could be Mahatma Gandhi, it could be any great thinkers or great scientists. Whether I can become that. So we will tell our children always, look at them. Always we point our fingers to on top. Somebody who may not be even living now, somebody who might have lived in a different culture, different historical context, and we tell the younger generation, look at that person. And for us, the children, and even for us also, if there is a reference model, who is somebody great, we will try to emulate that person, and slowly we understand that person has different set of capabilities. He is a superhuman person. That is why he could achieve that. I may not be able to do that. Without understanding or without seeing the role models below us. So second fence which we are having is the fence not to look at people below us. I have hundreds of examples during my career, and most of you would be having those examples, where we found role models in people who we consider or society consider as below us, below within quotes. There are people, the ordinary people who are living with us. It could be our people who are helping us. If it's an organization, people on the lowest level who is going to be a guiding force. I have my own examples from my own career, dear friends. where I got really motivated, not from my boss or super boss. When I saw my contingent staff, who is a temporary worker, who comes on time, much before everyone, and very sincerely, with a lot of commitment, work. He must be several layers below me. He must be getting daily wage. Really, friends, I have got inspired. I have got learning from such people who are much below us. I remember there was a person who was helping in our home, a girl. When she came for the first time, my wife was asking, when will you come in the morning? So my wife was expecting her to come around 8 o'clock. So she thought, okay, if I say 7 o'clock, at least she will come by 7:30. She said, you should come at 7 o'clock. We were observing. For the next day, we saw her coming at sharp 7, not 7:1 anytime. Why I'm taking such simple examples? I'm not taking big examples of big people to convey this point. Dear friends, I thought personally, I am not exaggerating myself, seeing that girl who is coming to our house for help in the morning at 7 a.m., rain or sunshine, I thought, if she can do, why can't I go to office on time? Any number of civil services conduct rules or some biometric system in the morning to put in the office, it would not transform me to such punctuality. I got that learning from that person. Whenever I went to my residential quarters area at that point of time to buy medicines, in our campus there was a small pharmacy. I go there will be a lot of people crowding there. Not that there is only one pharmacy in that particular campus. There are about 3 in the campus. Why when I go there, only hear so much of crowd? So my turn comes a little late. So I get a lot of time to observe. I find why Manjunath's shop has so much people. How dynamic he is. How he's catering to everyone with one assistant. One positive things I found there. Every medicine in your prescription, it will be available there. I'm sure all of you might have gone with prescription to medical store. Many times we find out of 4 medicines, one they would say, it is not there. So why all people coming to Manjunath's shop? Manjunath knows if I'm an entrepreneur, I need to deliver. I don't want anybody to go away saying that, no, I'll come, no, you come tomorrow, I don't have to say because I have the stock. Small shop in a residential campus, if Manjunath can teach us the business management principle of the highest order, and he almost about 18 hours his shop is open. Many times early morning we get a stomach pain or something, where is the medicine? We'll go to the medical store, closed. Other medical store, closed. Many times we see, no? He knows if I am running a medical store, it is something for the emergency for people. Why can't I open morning at 6:30 a.m.? Have you seen anywhere? He opened at 6:30 a.m. So people know that any time I can get, he is available there. Again, an example, an inspiration in marketing, in management from Manjunath. So if I go to give a lecture on marketing to senior marketing professionals of a company, consumer company, I think this is the best case study I can give. I have so many other attributes I observed in Manjunath. I don't want to tell that because there's no time for us to discuss that. There are any number of points I can write an article about that particular shop as a case study for MBA students. Ultimately, everything into retail. Everything boils down to retailing. How do you do it? Such things, learning from below, can really make us think that is replicable. If Mahatma Gandhi has done something, at that point of time, he is a person of a different material. The person of a lot of meditation, fasting, so much of strength he is having morally and emotionally. Very balanced person. I am not that. I cannot emulate Mahatma Gandhi ji. But if I see somebody around me living in the same circumstances as mine and delivering, it is easy for me to replicate. Easy for me to replicate. So learning from people from below is more rewarding. I remember I never knew swimming till the age of maybe something around 35 or after my son wanted to go for swimming, he said, and my daughter, they inspired, they went into swimming, they went for tennis. I can say that they inspired me, not that I inspired them. So, in little things in our life, little people in our life can open up our mindset to be a good dressing in the society, in the community, in our own way, maintaining our identity, but taking from others. And the third fence I had noted down is this. First one was learning beyond the institutional structures, your discipline, picking up something about every discipline. An engineer reading philosophy, a medical doctor learning sociology, a civil servant learning something beyond. He may not have been he may be good at law and public policy. He may not be knowing the psychology of the people, the beneficiaries. So apart from our formal learning, each one of us here have learned something, of formal qualification. It will get perfect when we have open mindset to learn from others, crossing the fence of our graduation. And the third thing which I would like to say is look to the seniors for learning. Look to the seniors for learning. Yesterday we had a talk here in Gokhale about history. The theme of that topic was this. The history which we hear or which we read in textbooks, in schools, are written sometime in some cultures, in some societies, some communities, by the people who were rulers at that point of time. They want to convey something. But the real history, about our real traditions, our customs, the meaning of our customs, meaning of our rituals, This can be told only by only our seniors. If our youngsters find more time across their fence of the institutional learning, their school textbooks, or what they read formally, and engage into conversation with the seniors, elders in the family, the uncles and aunts, be part of their conversations, I think that learning would be more relevant than the learning about a ritual in a textbook. Learning for the seniors. I have done that. When my grand uncles and aunts, when they were in the 80s, I visited them, start engaging in conversations with them. In fact, I have videographed. I asked them about the times when they were in school, their older traditions and institutions, the governance at that point of time. I got unadulterated historical images of what was happened in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years ago. When I wrote a Malayalam novel, I wrote a novel in Malayalam. It is actually tell the story of about a person from her childhood till her death. It is a woman-oriented novel. So when that lady was a child, it was something around 90 years ago. So to write about that childhood and all those things, I wanted to really know at that point of time, how was the life? How was life? How was family life? How was community life? What sort of administration at that time? What sort of politics at that point of time? How will I know that? I can go to archives and go through some books. But instead of that, I went and talked to people who are now 80s or 90s. Sat with them for days together. Then I understood this was the institutions at that point of time. This was the family life. This was the marriages arranged this way. In a marriage, what they serve, how the marriage is fixed. How was the family life there? How was the schooling? What is the discrimination between girl child and boys at that point of time? The system of dowry. Everything came from the horse's mouth. So when I wrote the novel, I could get the realistic data or the history at that point of time. So learning from the old, learning from the seniors is also something which is, we are crossing the mindset of the school learning, crossing the mindset of the college learning, crossing the mindset of some books which we read, the real life learning. So first we said the learning away from the, across our formal learning system. Second was learning from the below. And third is learning from old seniors, learning from the seniors. The next one I would like to say is the learning from the competitors. If we want to be successful and if you are identified somebody is doing better than me, we need to understand the strategies of that competitor. Most of the corporates, they do that. Instead of being jealous, instead of being an enemy, they learn from the competitor. Learn the precepts from the competitor and understand that. Now the mindset again, from my mindset, I come out and I collaborate with the competitor. I collaborate with my enemy. Is it possible? I start interact with my enemy. Is it possible? From that, I would like to come back to the concept of melting pot again. We are very hesitant to be part of melting pot. We want to be independent. I belong to a particular community. I belong to a particular caste, or I have a political ideology I am carrying for many decades. I think our conviction about my community, my caste, or my religion, or my language, or my diet, or my perspective, or my political party will be perfect only when I know about my other community, people from other religion, people from other caste, people from other political party. I do not have any right to criticize another political party or another ideology without knowing about that. All alone I can survive. This is my community for 60 years, 80 years. I live this life in an imperfect way. Because my mindset, everything is shaped by my community, my idea, which I have been told by my generations. If I want to really understand the people in the other spectrum, I need to interact with them. Interaction is to not to be a melting pot, to surrender my ideology to them, surrender my religion, my caste to them. No way. We regain our identity. We maintain our identity. At the same time, I want to understand. If there is a community like that, they are following a certain custom, certain culture, I would like to read about that. Then my learning is perfect. Many times, dear friends, we all go by prejudices and stereotypes. We think this particular people are like that. This particular political party, all those fellows are like that. So, the spirit of some sort of antagonism comes. If you ask, did you read that? You are criticizing that particular ideology. You are criticizing that particular scripture. Have you gone through it at least once? No. I know, dear friends, we cannot go and read about every community, every political party, every other, our competitors, all the code of conduct. We can't do that. If we can do that in our lifetime, learn little bit beyond our formal institutional learnings to know about that particular community, that particular people, that particular political party, that particular perspective, understand that our mindset will get broadened. What will happen? I am not surrendering my identity, but what I will do is, I have become more receptive. I will not consider that person as an enemy. I consider the background of that person from where he has come. Dear friends, if it is not possible to do that, read a little bit of sociology, a little bit of psychology, a little bit of philosophy. Sociology, psychology, and philosophy. Each of the disciplines says that we are mother of all disciplines. Read all three claims. Can we read a little bit of philosophy? Little bit of sociology, which is science of society. A bit of psychology, which is beyond communities, which is beyond caste, beyond particular political party, beyond any specific institution. We will broaden our mindset. If that is also not possible, there is no time. I don't read anything these days. Who will read philosophy? So tough. Who will read psychology? easiest thing would be try and visit the home of your competitor, your enemy, or the person with a caste or a religion or a political party whom you have never gelled anytime. Why don't you have a travel with him, journey with him? Why don't you go, why don't us, including me, I'm saying, spend an evening with that family of that person? I'll tell you, our mindset will get really broadened. There's so much of divisions happen in society is basically because of our lack of understanding. What we know is the history we learned in the books, the library. What we learned is what we got, the tradition which we taught, where we all become islands. If we can, this is again from my experience, I had a lot of prejudices about certain people, certain type of people, certain type of ideologies. When I took deliberate step to moving with them for some time, talking to them, understanding from where they are coming, their ideology, the writings which they are following. Went through that. Then my whatever antagonistic feeling I had, all those reduced. I found there are certain imperfections in my own beliefs. My own belief, which I thought is sacrosanct, 100%. It is not that the ideology. I thought this is the ideology. This is the belief. I thought, no, there is something else also. So I need not be a melting pot where I am surrendering my belief or ideology to somebody. But I can really take something out of it. Then I became more friendly with people of different perspectives and backgrounds. When we come out of these fences, dear friends, if we can make deliberate attempts to broaden our learning in these 5 things. I'm not giving a gospel or teaching or message to you. It is to me also. If I want to broaden my existence in the society as part of this rich salad bowl, without surrendering me, I would like to be part of everyone. Wherever I am working, I have to be oriented more towards other disciplines, understand other disciplines also to deliver my whatever area of work. I need to learn from beyond what I have learned institutionally, beyond my schooling. I need to learn beyond that. Secondly, I need not always bother about role models which are not alive, which may be beyond me, or they might be having their own unique circumstances. I myself can learn from people below me. They can also give me they can be a role model. I would like to give an example of one person sitting here is Murlidhar. He was working with me in TRI. Murlidhar engineer, no? Background. Science only. He was in charge of conducting consumer advocacy program in 5 states, 4 or 5 states. He was in charge. I'm giving this example. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to take example of some big author, business guru. I want to take example of him. When we conducted consumer awareness program for the public, the hall will be crowded, 500 to 1,000 people. From Bangalore, he is conducting a program in Goa or in Kerala or in Mumbai. He ensured that in the hall there will be 500 people participating in the consumer program. He is not a marketing person. but he is imbibed. He understood that with my science background, with my technical background, if I don't have my sociological perspective, my managerial perspective, to get that project successful, I need to imbibe the ideas, school of thought, or multiple disciplines. I think that would be the reason. And Murli and me, we go for these sessions. He makes sure that after the program is over, some good food is given to everyone. Our budget is limited. He understands that this is also very important. For the people who sat for a session for 2 hours, he arranged that also. I still remember, Murali, how you thought about all these things. So why I'm taking this example? The multiple perspective of the job which he is having, he internalized, and he ensured that not a single person go without knowledge, and maximum number of people get benefited out of this program. And they were given the handouts, explained in a very simple way, and they left. So dear friends, again I am stressing the need for all of us, including me, to broaden our outlook from our limited knowledge which we have learned, by learning beyond our formal system, learning from whomever we see, their experiences, pick up something good from them. And the third one is learning from the seniors. Open our mindset to the seniors. Listen to them. Get real history, real perspective. And the fourth one, learning from the competitor. And fifth, learning even from the enemies. Strategy would be understand more of philosophy, sociology, and psychology. If that is not possible, we try to interact more with them, try to be part of their lives, understand them, and the conflict reduces, and we will be having a collaborative mindset where we are not surrendering ourselves in a melting pot. We are maintaining our identity, but at the same time, be colorful, be a good dressing in society as part of the larger salad bowl. Thank you so much. Yes, Ram.
Thank you so much, sir, for that absorbing and enriching set of deliberations. It certainly got us thinking. In a way, this talk was a continuation from yesterday's session. Professor Sebastian Joseph spoke about mainly collective humanism, and Dr. Sibichen took the subject from there and gave us very concrete ideas of how that grand ideal can be accomplished by doing away with the blinkers that we ourselves have assumed all around us and which tie us down in ways more than one. I think it was the great physicist Richard Feynman who said, "I am an atom in the universe and yet a universe of atoms." And I think that ties down very well with what Dr. Sibichen wants us as human beings to achieve by retaining our own identity and trying to go beyond it by absorbing the best that the world has to offer. Of course, the world itself is a great learning place. And what struck us most in Dr. Sibichen's talk, in his presentation, was his great humility to take time out of his busy schedule to collect his thoughts and present before us a cream of his insights in very simple and in ways that we can emulate ourselves in our still developing capacities as citizens. And he took very simple and yet at the same time very efficacious examples from his own experience, and I think that um, drove home the import of the talk very well. And all of us owe an immense debt of gratitude for Sibichen Mathew sir for coming here every year, and this time around it was a great topic. And initially we were stumped by what he would have in store for us, but now having understood his intention in trying to really make us believe in our own objectives at the Gokhale Institute of Public Affairs as well. In fact, that is what the founder intended to do. This institute was envisaged as a laboratory of ideas where people from all walks of life and denominations come together, as Plato envisaged the university, where people study one subject but they are open to all ideas from all sorts of people. I think that has been communicated very well. So on behalf of the Gokhale Institute of Public Affairs and all of our friends assembled here, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Sibichen K. Mathew.
But don't forget to file your return, July 31st. We can't escape from death and taxes.